Alright guys, we are going to do a next 72 hours reading, and Thursday didn't work out so well, did it? So it's Friday, and we're going to do a pick a card. So it will be I originally wanted to do these for each sign, but that is not going to work out with the way I've got stuff going on right now. So we're going to do a pick a card for the next 72 hours, and this will be for all signs. And just make your selection, and apparently that's two there. And we may fix this framing in just a second. So instead of Thursday, it's Friday, and here we go. I am trying to get other stuff out just to kind of expand the channel, but we see how that's been going lately. We're going to settle on that, guys. So, pick your pile, pick your card, whatever, and 1, 2, 3. Here we go. For pile 1, because we had some hangers on. You could have a situation that's sticking around a lot longer than you wanted it to, or you intended it to, and I feel like this is going to be a change or a realization that comes to you overnight. Pile 1, we've got a someone who may be staying on longer than you intended, than they intended, than they insinuated that they're going to be there, and that's why this is... It seems as though things changed overnight, because that's all I keep reading overindulgence as, and it could be that you're wanting to move on, but somebody doesn't want to leave the party. So for the next 72, you may need to be drawing some boundaries, or you may just need to move yourself out of a situation, because it does look like it's going to be you that's moving on or out of something. That doesn't mean other people aren't going to be making moves too, or separating themselves from a status quo, a set of predetermined, pre-planned events. However, I think you may be the first one that's like, you know what? Yeah, this party's lame now. It was good whenever the music was going and everything, and now it's just like breakfast is cold pizza, there's a fly in the beer, and it's time to go. So I think it's going to be much more important for you to focus on your personal goals versus worrying about what other people are doing. They may be continuing to enjoy this atmosphere that they've got up because it's part of their routine. And it's possible that you just kind of stepped into somebody's life at a moment and you didn't realize it was their life. You thought it was just like a weekend, and this is how they live every day, every night, and it may not be something that you want to continue being involved in. Like, it's nice for a break from what you've got to do, but it's almost like a part of you is saying, like, the party can't last forever, but yet the party's lasting forever for this person, and their goals may be totally different from what yours are. They may just want to enjoy the moment and do what they have to do to get back to what they consider the party. And this could be someone, it doesn't even have to be someone that's indulging in drugs and alcohol. It could be someone that goes and, works, and then their entire life is focusing on home and all of that, and the kids and maintaining stuff, and then it's like, yeah, I gotta go to work, but I'll be back. Just give me a minute. And then is like something they have to go do, and they see it just like that. Like there's a part of their life that they are totally wrapped up in, and everything else just seems like it's a distraction, even though you may be viewing it as a responsibility, and or color coding everything as a responsibility. It's like work is a responsibility, family is a responsibility, home is a responsibility, and they're not seeing it like that. This person could also be teaching you a lesson, or you could be doing this for somebody else too, that you don't collect responsibilities in life. That's not what you're meant to do. You bring things into your life to enjoy them, and part of that enjoyment is supposed to be taking care of them, maintaining them, ensuring that they are at minimum kept at their baseline so that they can evolve past that point. And as far as material objects and things go, it's all supposed to be a support system. Right now, I say this a lot because this is it seems relevant whenever I'm saying this. I am a Cancer. I am a Cancer sun, and it's kind of like everything is a support system, and whenever it's not doing what it needs to do, there must be something wrong, so how do we fix it? There must be something not working the way it's supposed to, and how can we fix that so that everything kind of be in this symbiotic kind of envelope to be able to help things evolve and change and grow the way that benefits. But this movement out of a situation could be helping you see that what you may see as overindulgence for one person, I know this totally is backpedaling on itself, but seeing that one person's overindulgence to you could just be their existence, like they're existing within their moments, and you may find that you haven't necessarily been doing that, and there's a chance that this could be setting you off on a journey to where you try to find a way to be like that, but not be like that person. Like, what do they have that you're missing, and what it's not even that you're missing, but what can you, because it's not something like you can go buy, it's not something you can go and purchase or take from anyone or anywhere. It's about observing something that they're doing that you're not. And you may have been kind of led into this position of, well, I can just go buy something to fix that. I can hire somebody to fix that. And this movement could be you moving out of that kind of state of mind and moving towards more symbiosis versus a consumerist kind of a thing. So it's not that this change is going to take place overnight, but you could come to the realization of the symbiotic way somebody else lives and how they're enjoying it rather than being dragged down by, oh, this is a responsibility, that's a responsibility. And I'm going to stop repeating myself now and move on to pile 2. Card 2, for your next 72 hours, we've got the Page of Pentacles. With the Page of Pentacles, guys, we are going to be looking at the past and how some of our own lack of commitment, unsurprisingly, didn't get us what we wanted. And with this being a next 72-hour reading, I'm going to say that you may be looking back at why you weren't as committed to something as you should have been. Why did you show up but not put in the work? And if you have been procrastinating on moving forward, it could be that part of you is trying to figure something out. And I don't think it's laziness. I don't think it's where you're refusing to learn from failure. There's something practical in the past that you may have neglected, and now you're going back to put your hands on it again. And it's not a person, so don't go back and start a fight or anything. This is Page of Pentacles that has to do with your money and property. Do not see people as property. That's not what we do. You know what? We had this pop out, and since pile 1 was multiple cards, we're going to go ahead and, do things that happen. Yeah, pile 2, we've got the Page of Pentacles in reverse coupled with the Three of Wands, and this one came out with the Three of Wands too, so okay, this is about putting energy in. If you are trying to make progress, it's important for you to not see your past as failure. Put the boundary up between you and the past and look at the problem. Look at the problem, look at what stands in front of you versus what you did in the past. I don't think what you did in the past was the problem. There could have been a lack of education, a lack of resources, something along those lines that was keeping the solution from being found or utilized. And whenever we look at the Three of Wands, I always see the Three of Wands as the figure leaving something behind, choosing to leave two things behind. It's like, I know what that is. I know what that is. And this is what I'm taking with me. This is the energy that I'm taking with me to make progress. But it could be quite a leap for you to do that. And I don't think all of this change is going to be happening within the next 72. If anything, I see you setting some plans and really writing things down and seeing what your options are, and then realizing later that I don't need this. I don't need that. And even coming to the realization that you are bringing too much with you, bringing too much energy and ideas with you to make this progress. And that's why this boundary is coming up, because this is my building fences card, or one of my building fences card. I don't remember which one it is right now, but it's one of the Wands cards where I think it's the 7 or the 8, where that is my tall fences make good neighbors. Drawing boundaries is going to help you define your relationship to people who don't know you and you don't know them, and realizing that you only need to know so much of these people. And this is a 7 of Wands, so it's not this card, but with the 7 of Wands, though, it's like you're tired of trying to figure out people. You're tired of trying to deal with everything that they bring to the table, because you don't need all these parts of them. You don't need to constantly handle all of these, really manage all of these energies, because they can't manage themselves. It's almost as though you have like all these little fire imps running around, and you're trying to not firefight and not kill any of these flames, but you're trying to manage them all. And it's like a haphazard Disney cartoon of, well, where did that one go? Okay, well, we've got all 9 of them. Wait, there was 10. And you don't need to deal with all this energy. You kind of just need to let it burn itself out and preoccupy itself. So whenever someone comes to you with a problem, within the next 72, you're going to start defining those boundaries of, that's great. Why is this something I need to deal with? I have enough on my plate, and it seems like something that you caused. So Maybe instead of focusing on where I'm at and what I'm doing and if I can help you, take all of that energy and put that into solving this problem yourself. Because it does seem like there's other people looking to you for answers, and they're not necessarily answers that you need to have. And you may end up snapping on someone because of it. With this, though, I do believe that you're going to be able to make some pretty big changes within the next 72. And ensure that whenever you do start putting energy into something, that is something that you want long-term results out of. Long-term movement, long-term opportunities, because I see you taking your energy, your own energy, and putting it into what results you want for the future versus destroying somebody's life like my cat just about did. um, and anyway, it looks like you are going to be starting to make progress now. Just because you start to make progress, don't abandon it once it starts to do what it's supposed to do. And say that, okay, well, I've got this done. Now I can help somebody. No, you can't. Stop getting distracted by these things that other people don't want to deal with for themselves. You may have been using other people's problems, other people's issues to procrastinate from doing what you were not sure about yourself. So, pile 2, thank you. And if you're sticking around for pile 3, I'll see you in a moment. Pile 3. Here we go. We've got the World. The World is your card, and because I was going to do one card for everything, but it just isn't working out that way. So we're going to go with, well, we'll see. And we've got the World in reverse for you guys, though. Now, I think you're seeking delays because you don't want to accept the closure that you're being given. And the World is right there for you to have. However, it may be seeking, like, this is the next 72-hour reading, but it may have something to do with therapy. It may have something to do with something like, okay, well, you need to, or not you, but somebody around you, because I see you as isolated from these people, or from these situations where it's like, you're waiting for other people to make the progress that they need to make in order for you to make progress, because you want them to come with you. However, pile 3, they are not making that progress as quickly as you hope they would. To be fair, it's likely that your expectations are a little bit high and almost on the verge of instant gratification, right? Like, great, you had a bad night, not you, but one of these people that you're dealing with, great, you had a bad night, you see what the results of your bad night was, not just for you, but for everyone else, and now you're in pain, and you're sad, and instead of going to the bar to deal with this, to make yourself feel better about it, or at least come to a neutral point about everything that happened, and then just letting it happen again. Instead of doing that, why don't we go to rehab? Why don't we sign you up for therapy and drug rehab? And okay, we got you signed up for the classes and everything. So now we're over it, and now we can move on, right? No, that's not how it works. And this could be anything. This could be I think even one of these people that you're surrounded by, they're trying to deal with their own problems and they're on their own path, and you may not be wanting to see it like that. Somehow you and this other one of these people are ingrained pretty. I think you may be more invested in this than they are. And it feels like it's this eagle head, if I'm not mistaken, that is trying to, and so it may be an air sign, right? That's very determined to be their own person and deal with things on their own because they know what they're going through and they don't need anybody else to be involved in it. Now, they may have, and this is a next 72, but I don't know if I said that yet or not, but it could be that they are trying to do their own thing, and somehow not only are they doing their own thing, but they feel like they need to run things by you because you're trying to be super involved in their life, and they're not there for that. It really feels as though this entity that's around you, and it does feel like it's a person, but you might be a fire sign or an air sign, and it's like everything that you did involved this other person, and they're separated from you right now for whatever reason, and now you're almost expecting that same kind of involvement, that same kind of ingrained feedback from this air sign, and it's not working out like that for whatever reason. Probably because they have totally different communication styles or they're not used to communicating. And I really think you might be coming off as this King of Cups. It's like, yeah, this is fun, but at some point, the party is over. And that's where the air sign is. Or this eagle-headed person. That's where they're at, where they are... I want to say it. I'm here to be square. And almost like you met them at a moment in their life where they were in an environment that they were not utilized or used to being in. And I'm right there with the whole the party doesn't end thing. Maybe you should go back to pile 1 and listen to that one. But was that pile 1? Yeah, that was pile 1. I keep wanting to say parasocial relationship, but I don't think that's what this is. I think this is someone that you met and got along with really well, or at least in your perspective, you got along really well, and now you're trying to continue that on, and it's almost like they're stuck in the mud. They're dragging. Maybe it's even a one night stand that's did not go out to have a one night stand. They didn't go out to get involved with anybody, and yet, and I don't think you're overstaying your welcome. That's not what this is. This is someone who is most likely used to having a lot of alone time. And you're starting to feel this isolation somehow, but there is a chance that you're putting somebody else's personality onto somebody else. Because that's what you're used to being around. So, but just like this is what people are like, and so of course they'll want to do that. Of course they'll want to do this and that and go around about it the other way and, you know, whatever. But I don't know. I just got this example of some people like to take the long way to work and some people like to take the direct way to work. Some people need that meditation time between leaving the house and getting to the job where they can just take that extended ride, extended movement to get between the two so that it doesn't feel like they're so enmeshed, so ingrained in things. But in every part of their life, it helps distance themselves from, or helps put distance between these two areas of their life. But anyway, other than that, it just seems like that with the Knight of Cups, you're going to be letting your imagination run away with you a little bit. And there may be a little bit of a hard talking too coming from this air sign. Like, look, I did not go to the party with the intention to get involved with anybody, but here I am. And while it seems like you are a very nice person, and this could be you saying this too, I did not go there seeking a relationship or even what happened. So the Nine of Cups could be signifying a little bit of heartbreak because your imagination just kind of ran away with you. But we are going with Nine of Cups. And yeah. So a lack of inner joy. Something. If you've been in a lot of long-term relationships and you just went from one to the other, and yeah, this other person is more analytical and more mentally focused. And it could be you, and this is the other person that's kind of building up this relationship in their head because they had some interaction with you, and they took it one way and you took it another. But either way, within the next 72, do not get overly involved with someone that you just meet, because that's what this is looking like. Like you get over involved in something because you think it's going to feed back into you, but it's not, because this air sign or this airhead is not focused on the same things that you are. You're feeling a certain way about it, or they're feeling a certain way about it, and getting overly involved. Either way, one of you seems like you're getting overly involved, overly invested in the other person, and it's just not going to work out long term. It seems like it's going to be a brief connection, sliding doors kind of a situation. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could just be a friend, someone that you think is going to be a friend, and it's like, yeah, no, that was one good conversation. That was it. And they don't have any more room in their life for anybody. So, and what we're going to do this to. Yeah, there's going to be some awareness made of something that you thought was an option isn't, and it's not really going to, there's not really going to be any heartbreak involved. It's just going to be some realizations that are being made. Which could suck if you're an introvert and you finally get like the mental feedback off of somebody that you appreciate, and then they're like a one and done kind of a thing. You know, one conversation, one hookup, and then it's like, yeah, well, that was nice, and off to the next thing. But pile 3, that is it for your next 72. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.